Joe, good to see how you doing. Evening. Comatose, good to see you as well. How you doing? Happy Pisces, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Scott, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hello, Miles and family. Hope all is well. T, good to see you as well. How you doing, T? How you been? How's everyone doing today? Good, bad, or just starting out, depending on where you are. Hi, Miles on CMF. George, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? G, how you doing? Hi, Miles. Give us some good news. There's a lot of news to actually go through on tonight's live show. We have a lot of banking news to go through. So there's some things happening regarding BRICS to go through on tonight's live show. Banking news to go through on tonight's live show. Ripple news to go through on tonight's live show. Grayscale news. Miles, am I first again today? Nope. Joe beat you. But good to see you, Scott. How you doing? How you doing, Miles? How's your parents' business? Good. Parents good. And also, I'm doing great. How you doing, Scott? Hi, Miles and family. Troy, good to see you as well. How you doing? How's the bull started to run? You think now, Miles? Slowly in motion is what I would have to say. But as we all know, the second run that's going to be in progress is all institutional. So as long as you're in the right projects, this institutional run is going to be great for you. Morning, Miles of CMF. Great, Miles. It's the weekend. Let's go, Shelley. Hello, Woodhouse. Good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? Long time, Woodhouse. How you been? So let's do just a rundown of what we're going to go through on tonight's live show. And then we do intro, disclaimer, and by that time everyone's tuned in for the first part. Good evening, brother Miles and CMF. Good to see you as well, funky brother. How you doing? On tonight's live show, on the CMF live show, we're going to be talking about Gary Gensler. The SEC regarding Gary Gensler and his recent sit-down. So the SEC does a sit-down every year where they talk about new regulations and new policies. So we're going to go through that on tonight's live show. Then we're going to be talking about the Fed regarding the essentially interest incomes for stablecoins, and that the next Fed rate cut has been priced in. So we're going to go through that on tonight's live show as well. We're also going to talk about Putin on tonight's live show as well regarding the BRICS payment system. Then we're going to go through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding John Deaton. So as we all know, John Deaton is going up against Elizabeth Warren. And there is a crypto bag that's known as Stand With Crypto, where a lot of blockchain companies like Coinbase, Ripple, and some of the major essentially names inside the crypto space feed money into this bag where essentially it can be used for politicians. Stand With Crypto has decided to endorse John Deaton, which is good news. Then we're going to talk about Germany on tonight's live show regarding Germany forming a Bitcoin Federal Association in its parliament. Then we're going to go through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding the second largest bank in Turkey is now endorsing Solana. Then we're going to go through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding the Biden administration and how one particular crypto-friendly bank has came out and said the reason their crypto-friendly bank collapsed was because of the pressure from the Biden administration. Then we're going to go through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding essentially the Swan Bitcoin claims. So essentially the Swan Bitcoin, he's a former employee of a company inside the blockchain space, and he's decided to come out and talk about how Tether was the reason his company failed, and that Tether was spying on his company, using his plans and his progress. So we're going to talk about that on tonight's live show as well. We're also going to go through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding Grayscale. Grayscale decided to come out with their new, essentially top crypto picks. So we're going to go through what their crypto picks are for this year and onwards. Then we're going to talk about Grayscale and their XRP trust, which recently got approved a while ago. Then an update on the matter. Then we're going to go through the news topic of Bybit on tonight's live show regarding Bybit topping the charts when it comes to essentially XRP against Binance. Then we're going to go through the news topic on regarding Ripple's top bosses, in other words, Brad and Chris Larson, are going to be appearing at a federal event. Then we're going to go through the news topic. I mean, look, I'll be honest, we have a lot of Ripple news towards the end of the live show. Federal Ripple news, Bybit versus Binance Ripple news, and some other Ripple news regarding Grayscale. So there's a mixture of news to go through on tonight's live show, but that's always towards the end. But the first news we are going to be covering is regarding Gary Gensler's new sit-down. So before we go through that, I just want to say welcome to everyone inside the CMF, and welcome if you are new. This is the CMF live show. On this live show, you can tune in every single night, and I talk about the most recent things that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, politics, and regulations. This is a vital live show for you to watch if you're inside the crypto sector, especially if you're beginning inside the crypto sector, because you're going to be knowing about things that's regarding the world completely transforming into a digital era. This is episode 167 of the CMF live show. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone also that's retweeting this live show on X right now, liking this live show on X right now. Right at the beginning of the live show, I'm getting notifications. Thank you so much to everyone that's retweeting and liking this live show on X. Thanks so much to everyone on YouTube who's also liking this live show and putting comments outside the video as well, because it really does help with the algorithm. And on this live show, we also do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down inside the comment section. Do not be shy, even if you are new inside the crypto space. And the disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. So welcome to the CMF live show. If you're new, and if you're regular, Let's Go CMF. The live show has officially started now. Before we go for the first news, which is regarding Gary Gensler having a sit down in the annual meeting of the SEC on regarding discussing policy matters. Let's go inside the comment section first. So let's see where we were inside the comment section. We were at good evening, Miles and CMF. Bull XRP, good to see you. How you doing? What's up, brother Miles? Billo, good to see you. How you doing? Is XRD still got potential? XRD has potential due to its contracts and developments that are going on. It's a long-term project. I wouldn't say it's a short-term project. Yo mama just says false. I mean, evening, Miles and CMF. Manny, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Good day, Miles and CMF. Mike, good to see you. How you doing? Hi, Miles and CMF. Rumi, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Busy with GCSEs, which are stressing me out because it's very hard to manage when I'm busy. No problem. Hi, Miles and CMF. Dennis, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Just want to get over it, but I'm falling behind on my own development and knowledge on crypto. Good evening, Miles and family. Ian, good to see you. How you doing? Hello, CMF on YouTube. Let's go, Scott. Good evening, Miles and CMF. How are you, Miles? I'm doing great. Canny, how you doing? Good evening, Miles and CMF. Free and Feather, good to see you. How you doing? Lena, greetings, Miles and CMF. Good to see you. How you doing, Lena? I will stop complaining and I will get involved. Hi, hello, Miles. Glenda, good to see you. How you doing? Hi, Miles and CMF. Watching from the hospital labor and delivery ward. Stormy, good to see you. How you doing? And congrats, Stormy, as well. So, first news topic on tonight's live show is regarding Gary Gensler. This is how the SEC chairman Gary Gensler's new exchange definition could impact the crypto space. Gary Gensler, the chairman of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, believes there have been significant changes in the financial markets requiring upgraded definitions of exchanges and alternatives regarding trading platforms. So it seems like Gary Gensler has decided to come to the conclusion that a change needs to be happening regarding policies inside the crypto space. During the 10th annual US Treasury Market Conference, Gary Gensler highlighted the shifts in the capital markets. Since the SEC first adapted regulations targeting alternative trading systems back in 1998 and outlined some steps the agency has taken to bring the regulatory landscape up to par. These regulations are essentially likely to apply to crypto exchanges and trading platforms because Gary Gensler has insisted over the years that pretty much every cryptocurrency falls under the SEC's essentially burden, and they're all securities. Redefining dealers and exchanges is what Gary Gensler made in his speech. Gary Gensler explained to the Treasury Market Conference attendees that a large part of the secondary markets are now facilitated by electronic trading platforms and strategies. These platforms are exempt from alternative system regulations introduced pretty much during the tenure of Bob Robin and Arthur Levitt at the 70th essentially Treasury Secretary, and 25th SEC Chairman, respectfully, he said. Taking into account the changes in trading systems, the SEC has proposed a new set of rules in 2022. In 2022 was the last time that Gary Gensler essentially updated the regulations and policies. And he said that back in 2022, when he did this, requiring platforms that provide treasury marketplaces to register as a broker deals, the SEC explained the definition of dealers in securities and markets to include principal trading firms, which use algorithmic and high-frequency trading strategies to offer services like exchanges and alternative trading platforms. And after their introduction, the proposed rules faced backlash from pro-crypto politicians. So Gary Gensler did introduce essentially these new updated regulations back in 2022, but they were completely absurd because he was just making up random policies just to sue any sort of crypto platform. That's why it was a complete backlash back in 2022 until now when it comes to the SEC. Despite the criticism against the proposals, Gary Gensler believes it will close the regulatory gaps among trading platforms and handle risk in the financial systems, protecting investors and financial markets. According to Gary Gensler's new rules, a paramount in protecting investors and financial markets because the trading platforms in question have refused to register with the SEC as dealers despite their regular participation in the buying and selling of securities. Although the SEC has adapted final rules that define what being a dealer means, the changes to regulations targeting alternative trading platforms have yet to be finalized. If the proposal to implement these changes is approved, the SEC would mandate that all trading platforms, including crypto exchanges, become subject to the agency's new policies. With the battle on cryptocurrencies that are classified as securities by the SEC still ongoing, the approval of a proposal may not sit well with the digital asset community. So, Gary Gensler essentially has decided to update his crypto policies. It finally came. It's coming pretty much where Gary Gensler is about to be fired, but it's finally coming. So Gary Gensler has decided to update his crypto policies when it comes to exchanges and maybe his security laws as well. So is this like a new chapter for Gary Gensler? He's going to start playing ball with the crypto space since his job is on the line. Now, he hasn't introduced his new policies, but he said they're working on them and his new policies are coming. The last time Gary Gensler updated his policies for the SEC, it was back in 2022, which was horrendous regarding the regulations he decided to bring out. Let's just hope that his new policies that he's working on and he's going to be coming out with soon are pro-crypto rather than a big negative for the United States. But it seems like he is changing his opinion. Now, moving on from Gary Gensler and the SEC, that could be good news or bad news, depending on when he does announce his new policies, to the Fed's dovish move to slash $625 million in interest income for stablecoins. Now, we all know that the Fed recently done 50 basis points, which was quite great for the crypto space and for the stock market in general, because investors become a lot more risky with their assets when you do have interest rate cuts. It seems to be that a lot of institutions have priced in the next rate cuts, and a lot of institutions are saying it's 75 basis points. So, on that topic, the Fed's dovish move. The Federal Reserve recent decision to cut the interest rates for the first time since March 2020 is set to significantly impact the revenue streams of the top 5 centralized stablecoins, which collectively hold nearly $125 billion in US Treasury bills. According to a new report that's just been released by the index provider CC Data today, essentially, the Treasury bills account for 80.2% of major stablecoin reserves. These stablecoins stand to lose approximately $625 million in interest income for each 50 basis points cut. Data from the CME Group FedWatch tool shows that the markets are pricing in a 75 basis point rate cut by the end of 2024. If we get a 75 basis rate cut, then it could be quite good for the crypto space because traditional assets will be seen not that appealing to investors, and that the economy is not doing too great if we're doing 75 basis points, which means more people will tend to run towards risk-off assets, gold or Bitcoin, or an alternative cryptocurrencies. So if we do have a 75 basis points and it is priced in already, it's actually good news. So when combined, the possible upcoming cuts could ease an additional $937.5 million from stablecoin revenues, bringing the total revenue loss from the Fed's easing policy to about $1.5 billion. Tether's USDT leads the group of stablecoin issues whose revenues are backed by the US Treasury, with a total of $93.2 billion in T-bills and repurchase agreements. The company posted a net profile of $5.2 billion in the first half of 2024, driven by interest rates. Circle's USDC also follows this movement as well, with $28.7 billion in treasury holdings through its Circle Reserve Fund, with the First Digital USD and FUSD and PayPal's PYUSD and TrueUSD hold similar positions in treasury assets worth up to $1.83 billion. And a decline in interest rates will likely add mounting pressure on stablecoin profit margins. In September, the total market capitalization of stablecoins climbed by 1.50% to reach $172 billion, marking the essentially 12th consecutive month of growth per the CC data. Despite this, the overall market cap remains below what it was before the Terra Luna depegging event situation that happened a long time ago. Trading volumes have been moving lower on centralized exchanges, falling 39.4% to essentially $683 billion recorded as of September 23rd, and suggesting a possible decline in monthly trading volumes. Traditionally, September marks the end of a seasonal effects and often marks the start of an increased trading volume, noted the report. The report that was released by the CC data is basically saying that we've passed the bad side of the market. Crypto or stock, we've just generally passed the bad side of the market slowly, and we're about to go into the good side of the market space now, starting next month, essentially, as we get closer to it. USDT remains the most popular stablecoin on centralized exchanges, and that's accounting for 77.2% of all trading volumes. FDUSD remains the second most traded stablecoin, with market share of 11.6%, followed by USDC with 10.9%. So, according to two data points, one, the CME Group's FedWatch tool, and the other one, the data that was released regarding the provider, which was CC Data, the index CC Data, the market should be going on the upside starting next month, and that as we carry on towards the end of the year, we could be getting a 75 basis points, which is already being priced in by a lot of institutions. So they're expecting 75 basis points, which means if they're expecting it, they're going to prepare for it. And if they're going to prepare for it, the market should be doing a bit better as we go along. So that was vital data for everybody to know about inside the crypto space. We're going to CC data on the FedWatch tool. Now, and the price staying 75 basis points. So you can have an expectation of what's going to be happening in the following months. What we're going to talk about next is Putin. Putin, as we all know, is a part of BRICS. Russia's a part of BRICS, and they're coming up with their own new payment system. There's a lot of countries involved. Well, Putin just did a new speech. And this is basically Putin's new speech. But actually, before we go through it, let's go inside the comment section first. Let's see if anybody's got any questions. By the way, again, I've said this, this is a live show. So if you do have any questions, put it down inside the comment section. Don't be shy. Put your questions down, even if you're new inside the crypto space. Some random person. He needs to get with the program. Gary Gensler, yeah, definitely. Camel, good to see you, brother. How you doing? I'm Trader. Okay. Can you tell me if Neo Protocol and Filecoin and AVAX on the long-term hold or to cash out profits in the bull run, Miles? Neo Protocol could be essentially a long-term project because it has good utility to carry on long-term. AVAX has great utility to carry on long-term. I mean, if Citibank essentially filed in a patent on AVAX, that means they're showing great confidence on AVAX to carry on with it. JP Morgan for Subnet Green, they're showing great confidence. There's a lot of institutions on AVAX. So AVAX could be seen as a long-term project with massive utility, especially if companies, major banks, filing patents on it. That means they're going to be looking at it for 50 years or 100 years, depending on what the patent and how far it goes. So regarding AVAX, it's definitely a long-term hold if you want to go for it. Filecoin, it could be a long-term hold depending on if they keep on upgrading themselves in the data field. And Neo Protocol can have a lot of prospering, a big future for itself as a long-term asset in the mostly Asian market sites. But they're all great projects. If you want to take out profits, it's not a bad idea. Whenever you're sitting on huge amounts of profits and you want to take some profits, It's never wrong to take profits. Always remember that. So if you're sitting on huge amounts of profits and you want to cash out a little bit, why not? We have a lot of weirdos coming in. Now, Putin. Putin has unveiled its independent BRICS payment system to enhance foreign trade. So Putin has decided to make a bold speech today about essentially the BRICS payment system that's coming out very soon. The BRICS alliance is gaining momentum with its increasing numbers of developing countries joining in hopes of challenging the US dollar's long-standing economic hegemony. This week's essentially marked the Russian Energy Week forum in Moscow, which hosted representatives from BRICS countries, among others. During this forum, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced this. This is quote by quote of what he said. Vladimir Putin said, "We are working within the framework of cooperation with BRICS countries on the creation of our own payment and settlement configuration, which will create conditions for efficient and independent servicing of an entire foreign trade." BRICS countries consisting of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, alongside recent additions such as Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE, have steadily advanced towards de-dollarizing regarding US dollar. Putin lit up the room in the forum, demanding the need for a strong, independent framework that would allow BRICS countries to process international transactions more efficiently. With this recent announcement from Putin and the new countries such as essentially Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, joining the UAE, the BRICS now represents over 40% of the world's population and controls a significant portion of global oil production, and essentially their dire need for efficient systems. Generally, the overreaching goal is to reduce dependency on Western-dominated financial giants such as SWIFT and the financial institutions like the World Bank, which have controlled a huge chunk of the financial landscape pretty much since the dawn of time. This new system aims at essentially transforming how foreign trade transactions are carried out between BRICS nations and offering an alternative to the dominant force inside the United States dollar. Worth noting that Russia has been on the odds with the US, locking horns over tech, military, and economic matters. Now the BRICS nations are fighting back, taking the only power that the US has used to hold these nations down. Putting into record, as it was reported earlier, over 50 nations have shown great interest in joining BRICS, essentially their governmental organizations. Over the years, these countries have searched broadly and deeply for ways to operate outside the traditional Western financial platforms. Developing new payment systems tailored for BRICS is a significant step in the right direction for these countries, as it allows these nations to navigate better global financial landscapes, often dominated by Western interests. Russia, the prime driver of BRICS' de-dollarization movement, due to being sanctioned by the US, is working on a crypto-based system to essentially be the backdoor to transactions. Giving the cryptocurrency sphere is a fully capable of fulfilling the requirements of BRICS nations. Will this new nation enter the crypto landscape? So, Putin has decided to make a bold speech at the Russian event that was happening in Moscow, essentially, with all the BRICS nations and some other nations that are not a part of BRICS but becoming a part of BRICS. He decided to light up the room by telling everybody that we need a new payment system and that BRICS' payment system is in progress and it is going to be built and it is going to be used and we are going to be getting away from the US dollar, was his big announcement. So he just wanted to show confidence to the BRICS nations that BRICS payment is coming out and there's nothing stopping it, is what he was trying to say. Now, all the best to Putin. Let's see how his new payment system goes. Either way, it's a positive for the crypto space, depending on how you look at it. But it's going to be very hard for these countries to become de-dollarized. Very difficult. Now, what we're going to do now is talk about John Deaton and Elizabeth Warren. So moving off essentially Russia's big announcement or Putin's big announcement today to Stand With Crypto. So Stand With Crypto is a crypto bag that's essentially filled with crypto money from Coinbase, Ripple, Kraken, and some other high-profile big names inside the crypto space. This bag has a total of $180 million inside of it. And this bag is used for any politician that wants to become pro-crypto. So there could be Republicans or Democrats. Any politician that decides to become pro-crypto gets to have some sort of access to this Stand With Crypto bag. And Stand With Crypto has decided today to endorse John Deaton in the race against Elizabeth Warren. Crypto advocacy Stand With Crypto has backed John E. Deaton, highlighting his stance on essentially digital assets as he challenges Senator Elizabeth Warren. Stand With Crypto, a crypto advocacy group, has endorsed pro-crypto lawyer John E. Deaton in their essentially new campaign against Senator Elizabeth Warren for the Massachusetts Senate seat. The endorsement signals a growing support for Deaton's pro-crypto regulatory stance on what he faces against Elizabeth Warren. John Deaton, known for his defense of the XRP holders in the US in SEC matters, essentially helping out Ripple, has gained popularity among crypto enthusiasts. Stand With Crypto's endorsement suggests that the group views John Deaton as a great candidate who will be a champion for pro-crypto policies and fight for regulatory clarity. Stand With Crypto's website claims to have over $180 million raised, with crypto companies like Exodus donating $1.3 million to Stand With Crypto to support pro-crypto candidates in the upcoming US elections. For example, on September 13th, Addison Howard's, essentially the crypto fund, partner with Stand With Crypto and OpenSea to launch a Creator Legal Defense Fund, providing legal support to NFTs and artists as well. Stand With Crypto is trying to fight every matter inside the crypto space. So Stand With Crypto is trying to bring more politicians into the pro-crypto space. They're trying to use their budget to help small crypto companies go up against the SEC, for example. So what they're trying to achieve is actually quite great. John Deaton versus Warren, the crypto essentially battle that's going on. In contrast, Senator Elizabeth Warren has consistently pushed for a more stricter regulations on the crypto industry. She argues that crypto assets pose a risk such as money laundering, fraud, and illicit activities, and national security levels. Elizabeth Warren has called for tighter oversights, advocating for policies that will subject crypto to regulations similar to those governing traditional finances. Her stance has made essentially her a target of criticism within the crypto community, which views her approach as overly restrictive and potentially harmful to innovation. John Deaton, meanwhile, has emphasized that he is not running on crypto, but his campaign has resonated with crypto supporters who want a more balanced regulation. And Stand With Crypto's endorsement reinforces his message that the industry needs to advocate willingly to challenge what they see as aggressive and unclear regulatory measures. I completely agree. I can't believe it's taken this long for Stand With Crypto to endorse John Deaton, but it's great they finally endorsed him because John Deaton did need some money. If you want to become a politician, you technically can't fund yourself. You have to get endorsements funding you to become that politician. It could be for a seat and essentially become a prime minister or president. You can't use your own money technically. You need endorsement money. So, and Elizabeth Warren was getting a lot of money. I don't know where from, probably the illicit activities she's talking about. But John Deaton needed a handout, and he finally got it. If he gets into politics, it's going to be very good for the crypto space as long as he stands by what he says and what he's going to be doing. Now, moving off of John Deaton getting endorsements to finally get moving on the campaign to Germany. The last time Germany was inside the crypto space was not good because they sold off the majority of their crypto bag when it came to Bitcoin, or all of it, as some people are claiming. This time around, Germany is inside the news for good. It's not bad news this time around. It's actually good news from Germany. Germany forms the Bitcoin Federal Association in its parliament. The association will focus on lobbying, networking, and influencing national and international Bitcoin legislations. It also aims to positively shape the Bitcoin ecosystem in Germany and the EU. The Bitcoin Federal Association shared a press document today. The document stated that the association was officially founded with 50 members present, while other 22 participants essentially remotely inside of it. The association creates an environment for business, research, development, and politicians to discuss and collaborate on issues related to Bitcoin. The BTCBV elected Philip as the chairman and Daniel Wingman as the vice chairman. And they said, we have laid the foundation for Bitcoin companies to have a strong voice and representation, both in Germany and the European Parliament, as well as the EU Commission, said Philip, the BTCBV chairman. The BTCBV chairman, founding members, including people from Bitcoin companies such as 21 Bitcoins, BlockSize, and Coinify. The association also plans to join the German lobby register. According to CoinGecko's essentially reports, governments around the world hold 2.2% of their Bitcoin's total supply. This is equivalent to 471,380 Bitcoins, which is almost $30.88 billion. So according to CoinGecko's sources, governments around the world are holding together roughly $30 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is about 2.2% of Bitcoin's entire supply. The United States takes the first place with 213,000, essentially regarding their Bitcoin's holdings, and China follows next with 190,000 in Bitcoin holdings. Then the United Kingdom with 61,000 Bitcoin holdings, then El Salvador with 5,800 Bitcoin holdings, and then Ukraine with 1,334 Bitcoins. The German government used to have 46,359 Bitcoins. That's worth about $3 billion today. The government confiscated those coins back in 2013, and this happened during an operation against a privacy website that faced Copyright Act violations. Of today, the German government holds 0 Bitcoin according to standards. This is because the government liquidated all of its holdings during 2024, which it really did. So, a Bitcoin association has just been formed in the German parliament. The German parliament has a Bitcoin association now with politicians inside. 50 members are inside of it. 50 members are inside of the German Bitcoin formation inside of parliament. And this is for Germany's parliament and the EU's parliament, which is massive news. Absolutely massive news. Now, moving on from Germany's parliament regarding Bitcoin to BBVA. BBVA is Turkey's second largest bank, and they've decided to endorse a new crypto token, which I'll tell you after we go through the comment section first. So let's go through the comment section first, and then I'll tell you what Turkey's second largest bank has just decided to endorse. What crypto project? Actually, you know what? Let's put inside the comment section as well. Everybody get involved inside the comment section. What crypto token do you think Turkey's second largest bank today made the announcement of? Which token do you think Turkey's second largest bank essentially endorsed for their clients to be able to buy on their Turkish banking app? Which crypto project do you think Turkey has chosen? Go for it. Ian, thank you so much for the £20 donation to the CMF to start up the CMF hedge fund. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the £20 donation. Is that a surprise regarding Germany? And yeah, nice one, brother. Kind donation. Yep. Let's go, Ian. Facts. Let's go, Ian. Good morning, Miles of CMF. Ghost Burner. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Which crypto project do you think they have chosen? Wow, everybody put XRP. Nobody thinks anything else. Just XRP. It could also be a, okay, let me say this as well, because I don't want to trick people anymore. I don't want to trick the CMF anymore. It's kind of a trick question as well. So let me rephrase the question. I don't want to trick anyone inside the CMF anymore. So let me rephrase the question. It's also a trick question. But what crypto project do you think the second largest bank in Turkey has chosen to endorse? It's kind of a trick question as well. I thought, let me say this time around before I said the answer. So, K-Love says XRP, Kamal says XRP, Scott says XRP, Romy says XRP, T says XRP, I hope. Funky Brother says XRP. G says XRP. Joe says definitely XRP. Funky Brother says, I've seen the news, it's XRP. Shelly says XRP. Ghostbunner says XRP. Bull XRP says XRP. Glenda says XRP. Brian Steele says it's XRP. Callie says Solana. Woodhouse says crypto. Since that's a trick question, Woodhouse is now saying crypto. Shelly says OMG. It's not Solana, it's XRP, Frankie Brother said. BTC, K-Love said. Emmanuel says XRP. Scott says XLM. JP just made a $500 donation. JP, thank you so much, brother, for the $500 donation. That is a lot. Thank you so much, JP. That's going straight to start up the CMF hedge fund. Absolutely amazing. Let's go, JP, for adding more money, and Ian for adding money to start up the CMF hedge fund. Absolutely amazing. Thanks so much, brother, for $500 donation. XLM says Mike. Ghostbunner says Ripple. Carrie says Ava. That's an interesting one. Glenda says Chainlink. Carrie says AVAX. JP says it's not XRP on the people that's research. It's not XRP. Brian says XLM. Shelly says AVAX. And then everyone's changing their answers now. Since I said it's a trick question, everyone's changing their answers. Okay. I'll tell you what it is. So, Turkey's second largest bank. You're amazing. Yep, JP, absolutely amazing. JP, you're on, man. Let's go. Every little helps. Miles, facts. Let's go, Ian. Ian, thank you so much for the donation as well. And JP, thank you so much for the donation to both of you. Absolutely amazing. Every little does help. And it's going straight to start up the CMF hedge fund. So thank you to both of you. Absolutely amazing. JP, your leader, the race to the hedge fund. XLM, HBAR, AVAX. Ghostbunner is just laying all the stops. Okay, the person that got the question correct for Turkey's second largest bank, of which crypto they decided to support, the person that got it right is, ironically, everyone. So the reason why I'm saying one was a trick question and two, everyone got the answer right. So for everyone that said XRP, you're correct. For the person, Callie, that said Solana, you're correct. For the person that said BTC, Caleb, you're correct. Scott, for ZXLM, you're correct. Regarding anyone that said AVAX, which was Kerry, you're correct. For someone that said, yep, that's pretty much it. It's still XRP. It's still XRP. So yeah, that's why it was a trick question, because Turkey's second largest bank, BBVA, by earnings of 2023, has essentially broadened its cryptocurrency services to include Solana. This announcement marks a significant extension of the bank's digital asset offerings, which began with the testing of cryptocurrency integrations last year. As of 2024, BBVA, Turkey's second largest bank, has expanded its supports beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, providing its clients with access to a wider range of cryptocurrencies. The financial institution ventured into cryptocurrencies market following the collapse of FTX back in 2022. As many banks sought to develop their own digital currency products, companies such as BlackRock and Fidelity also introduced spot Bitcoin ETFs to meet their needs for their asset managers and corporate trusts. This trend has enabled customers to rely on established financial giants rather than traditional exchanges. So BBVA now supports Solana, but they also support Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDC coin, Ripple, XRP, AVAX, Chills as well, and enables users to transfer these assets directly through its banking application. In addition to the asset transfers, BBVA's app also allows users to purchase Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, and AVAX using USD. This feature is designed to appeal to users wary of potential risks associated with stablecoins. The bank's support for USDC and AVAX was added in late 2023 and mid-2024, with Solana being the latest addition. Key insights derived from this development include BBVA now supports a diverse range of cryptocurrencies, enhancing its appeal to digital asset investors. The bank's move reflects a broader trend of financial institutions entering the cryptocurrency market. Solana's in conclusion could influence market dynamics, especially regarding Bitcoin's resistance levels. BBVA's decision to include Solana among its supporters' cryptocurrency indicates a growing acceptance and integration of digital assets within major banking frameworks. This strategic move not only broadens the banking service offerings, but also positions it as a key player in the evolving cryptocurrency landscape, catering to an increasingly crypto-savvy clientele. So everybody was pretty much right. That's why I said it was a trick question. Everyone that said, so when I asked the question, Turkey's second largest bank, what are they endorsing? Majority said XRP, which was correct. Some people said Solana, which was correct. Some people said Bitcoin, which was correct. Some people said Ethereum. All of it was pretty much correct. It's a trick question. They pretty much endorsed everything. Well, the top crypto projects: AVAX, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, now Solana, USDC, obviously, because stablecoin. No, I did not change my answers because I didn't even hear the question. No, I did not change my answers because I didn't even hear the question. XLM, H4, AVAX. It's still XRP. XRP, XLM, even in Miles and CMF peeps. Sorry, late. Had to walk the dogs. No problem, Sandra. Good to see you. Miles, seriously, low. They all sit at the tender table. Miles, XRP, Solana, etc. I agree. 100% JP. I agree. Crypto, you know what I mean. XRP is crypto. I got it right. I never lose. Yep, Woodhouse was on the ball mark. Can you explain the options and benefits of the hedge fund for us to invest into, Miles? What do we need to get in? Once the hedge fund has the correct licensings and it's able to get up and running, I'll put out a document on the Telegram group for anyone that wants to join. But the benefits of a hedge fund is we're going to be investing into market spaces that tend not to get invested into. So slowly, venture capitalists are investing into the blockchain space, but mostly into the AI space, to be fairly honest. Regarding venture capitalists, they mostly prefer AI compared to blockchain. Web3, sometimes they go in and out of it, but AI is what they love. But our hedge fund is going to be something similar to BlackRock, the one we're starting up for the CMF. So we're going to be doing a lot of investments, not only in essentially the basic models, which is oil, essentially gas, gold, silver, and so on, so risk-off assets, but we're also going to be doing real estate investments. We're also going to be doing investments into startup companies. We're going to be doing investments into blockchain companies, data companies, because data is going to be the new oil fields. We're going to be doing a lot of investments, broad investments on a worldwide basis, but we need to have the correct licensings to be able to operate under the FCA, the SEC, the SFC, and so on. So once we get the correct licensings, then we're going to be starting that off. But a lot of things are in progress to get those licensings done, and so we can operate in a very legal manner, because we don't want to be operating in gray areas in case something goes south. But everybody can join this CMF hedge fund. It's just once we get it up and running, I'll let you know the step-by-step of joining into it. Everybody's more than welcome, but once I get the licensings in order, once I get the money transfer with the licensings in order, then essentially I'll open the doors to the CMF hedge fund, and I'll give you a step-by-step of what you should be doing to join the CMF hedge fund. But anybody's more than welcome to join it. CMF, every single dollar to start a hedge fund costs between 10 and 15,000. So everyone's donation helps. Trust me, it will pay off. It's facts, yes. Everyone's donation helps to the CMF hedge fund. Absolutely, it's a donation, so it's completely optional. You don't have to donate at all. It's completely optional. But yes, 10 to 15 G's is what we need to raise for a CMF hedge fund. And every little bit helps. So, everyone that's donated $1 during these live shows, $2 during these live shows, $10, $20, $500 or $100, every little helps. So thank you so much to everyone that donates during these live shows. It could be a $1 donation, it could be a $500 donation. Thank you so much to everyone for all your donations. Absolutely amazing. So that's the explanation regarding the CMF hedge fund. We're going to be doing a lot of investments into blockchain companies, a lot of investments into real estate, investments into risk-off assets, or investments into oil, gas, and so on. CMF, every single dollar, facts. Because they're all in government control, that's why. Yep. Miles, you've been playing games again. Thanks, Miles. T, no problem. So many idiots in this live. Yeah, I know. They're coming out of nowhere. Good job, guys. Apart from the CMF. I will try to invest in when I can, family. Let's go to. Yes, complete option. You don't have to. Complete option. I didn't mean it like that. Yep. No, we know with our story. The random people that are coming in, you're talking about. Some random people are coming into the live and putting some weird comments stuff. But yeah, we know we get it. Don't worry. Now, something that's okay. Mark Cuban. Just want to point this out. Mark Cuban has been coming out for a very long time and saying that Kamala Harris is pro-crypto, and Kamala Harris is obviously a part of the Biden administration. Well, here is something that nobody knew on what happened behind closed doors. Now, this isn't what essentially I'm saying. This is actually coming from somebody that was in charge of a bank, a crypto bank. So a while ago, there was a crypto bank by the name of Silvergate. And Silvergate went a little bit south due to the FTX situation and due to another situation, which they never talked about until now. And they decided to come out now and essentially tell the whole world how the Biden administration forced this bank, a crypto bank, to close its doors. So Mark Cuban, Galaxy Digital CEO, all of these random CEOs and massive executives that are coming out and saying Kamala Harris is pro-crypto. Where are you now when a bank executive is coming out, a crypto bank executive is coming out and telling the world that the Biden administration forced this bank, this crypto bank, to close their doors? So where's the pro-crypto side from Kamala Harris? Biden administration blamed for Silvergate collapse the crypto-friendly bank. In a recent court filing, the headquartered financial institution Silvergate confirmed that the bankruptcy process was at the final stages. The bank ceased operations essentially early last year after the investors withdrew millions, fearing the reassurance of another FTX scandal. Profiled as a crypto-friendly bank, the financial provider was affected by the 2022 collapse of the crypto empire, FTX. This forced the investors to withdraw over $8 billion, accumulating in one massive withdrawal. To meet the new customer demands, the bank was forced to dispose of Silvergate's long-term securities at low price. Could Silvergate have survived the 2023 bank run? The consequences of this dissolution of Silvergate have attracted the attention of experts to assess the possibilities of reawakening of the giant bank. In a post that was renewed by crypto investor Nick Carter, it shared insights essentially on the cause of Silvergate's bank run. Nick Carter argued that despite the banks being off the radar for nearly 12 months, the bank's chances of surviving were high. He confessed that the Biden administration forcefully caused the liquidation of this bank. From his analysis, Nick Carter noted that the bankrupt bank could still exist despite the regulatory pressures and crypto market uncertainties. Reviewing the recent bankruptcy filings and information from familiar sources, Nick Carter stated that the Biden administration's anti-crypto stance move forced troubled banks to close down. Nick Carter noted that the White House demanded that the bank would lower its crypto deposits to 15%. The White House was demanding Silvergate Bank, the crypto-friendly bank, to lower its crypto interest to 15% or face legal charges, since Silvergate operated under the Operation Choke 2.0 regime. This legislation was intact in February last year, restricting banks from holding crypto assets. The anti-crypto move law called for collaborative regulatory approach to prevent the bank's involvement in crypto transactions. They were blackmailing this bank: either reduce your exposure to cryptocurrencies and stop being a crypto-friendly bank, or we're going to come after you with legal documentations. How the Biden administration forced Silvergate to liquidate its assets. Nick Carter observed the unprecedented bank's run demonstrated the impact of different regulatory approaches on the crypto market. He noted that the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, teamed up with the anti-crypto legislators such as Elizabeth Warren to bring down the banks supporting digital assets. Elizabeth Warren and the FDIC and the White House pretty much forced Silvergate to close down. They forced this bank to liquidate its assets and close down because it was a crypto-friendly bank at that time. The financial regulators demanded that the bankrupt bank disclose its relationship with former client FTX. In a secret meeting, a person privy to the information told Nick Carter that the FDIC had multiple regulatory approaches to shut down the bank. This forced the bank to agree with the FDIC and demands to cap crypto deposits to required levels. He claimed that the 15% rule was just a threat to kick Silvergate out of the market. The bigger banks didn't want Silvergate being this new blossom crypto-friendly bank coming out of nowhere in the ranks. The bigger banks went to basically the FDIC. The FDIC teamed up with White House and Elizabeth Warren to bring the exposure of this bank's crypto assets down. Remember, this bank already had some troubles with the FTX situation, which means they had to give out some money, liquidate some assets because of FTX. On the other side, the White House, Elizabeth Warren, the FDIC put another pressure on this bank to reduce their exposures to cryptocurrencies. So on one side, they were losing crypto assets. On the other side, they were losing clients because of FTX. In response to the multiple threats, the insolvent bank abandoned its plans to remain afloat, but comply with the FDIC requirements. In another meeting, a person familiar with the situation confessed that a top-level management at Silvergate had held essentially an internal meeting to discuss how to comply with the FDIC requirements. During the meeting, the bank lenders voluntarily agreed to shut down operations. Why did Silvergate voluntarily liquidate itself? Upon contacting the California financial regulators about the legal process to liquidate the bank, the officials confessed that the Silvergate case was the first incident to be reported. Being a special case, none of the regulators contacted by Silvergate had prior experience on how a bank should be liquidated. This implies that the bank's decision to cease operations essentially intimidated from intense regulatory pressure, but not the bank's solvency. As in, the bank didn't want to close its doors down. But because Silvergate Bank, crypto-friendly bank, was receiving so much pressure from FTX's shambleness, and the other side, a pressure from the White House and essentially the Biden administration, Elizabeth Warren and the FDIC, to close down its operations because they were a crypto bank. Furthermore, Nick Carter essentially noted that the Biden anti-crypto move contributed to the 2023 bank run, the largest banking crisis since 2008. Being an active investor in digital assets, Nick Carter is not a stranger to how banks essentially relate to crypto assets. Nick Carter blames compliance lapses and regulatory pressures. He explained that virtual asset service providers rely on financial institutions to allow customers to make online purchases or settle payments. It implies that the bank plays a critical role in facilitating the buying and selling of digital assets. From his vast experience and expertise in the crypto investment space, Nick Carter has learned that non-compliance costs companies heavily. Revisiting the Silvergate history, Nick Carter noted that the bank was also on the wrong side of the law. He argued essentially that if the bank had adequate anti-money laundering measures, it would have been possible to identify FTX's suspicious transactions, which is true. Nick Carter essentially concluded that Silvergate was reluctant to identify FTX's illegal activities and kept the bank regulators on watch. He also noted that the bank's financial regulators ill-treated the bank. So, all of these executives and massive CEOs and billionaires that are coming out of nowhere, like Mark Cuban, out of nowhere, and they're coming out and going, Elizabeth Warren is pro-crypto. I can't believe nobody sees it. Elizabeth Warren is pro-crypto, is what Mark Cuban keeps on saying. Is she, though? Was she not part of Operation Chokehold for Silvergate Bank to close its doors? And it was the #1 crypto-friendly bank inside the United States at that particular time. The Biden administration pretty much put pressure on this bank while it was being pressured from FTX at the same time. It was losing clients because of FTX. And at the same time, they come out of nowhere, the Biden administration, and pressure it even more and say, sell off your crypto assets also. Which made the bank close its doors. So I really don't understand these CEOs and massive executives and billionaires who are coming out and going, Kamala Harris is pro-crypto. How can nobody see it? She's pro-crypto. Of course she is. Because that is what somebody that's pro-crypto does. Close a crypto bank. Now, moving on from Silvergate and the information that was just released from Silvergate to Swan Bitcoin. Another issue inside the crypto space that's just been revealed. I think a lot of information that's been happening behind doors is being released today, because this one is regarding Tether and how Tether, well, before actually we go through it, let's go inside the comment section first. Let's see what's going on. By the way, this is a live show, which means if you have any questions, go for it inside the comment section. Don't be shy, even if you are new inside the crypto space. If you have any questions, go for it. Ask away. Let me just put this in charge at the same time. And then we'll go through the Q&A, and then we'll go to the news. Let's see where we are at. We were at high miles. Is this just the start of the bull run? We're getting there. Still don't know how to donate. Just don't give them any airtime yet. We are blocking them one by one. Yep. Facts. Let's go, Shelly. Dollar button next to the message location. Yep. Jim, good to see you. How you doing? We're getting there. Let me look. When you say venture capitalist, who or what category of business lords are they? Venture capitalists tend to invest into anything with potential. And when you get money from VC companies, you don't have to pay it back, because they understand that if they do give out money, they're expecting some sort of returns, and they do get a big chunk of your company if you're very bad at negotiating. But if things go south with your startup company, the venture capitalists don't actually want that money back. They're risking by investing into you. So venture capitalists are companies you would go to if you want to borrow money to start up your company, and they don't expect you to pay that money back because they know that they're investing into you, and they're hoping things go the way they want it to. But if it goes south, they understand those risks. But they do take sometimes a big chunk of your company. So it outweighs the risk when you do become successful. But they pretty much invest into anything with potential. JP, you are absolute savage though. What up, Miles and CMF? Happy Friday. Ray, good to see you. How you doing, brother? How you been? Respect, Miles. Many thanks for you do, brother. Let's go. Ian, thanks for the kind words. Says stickers and makes chat sounds out. Correct. The medication, Semper, thank you so much for the $10 donation. That's going to be going towards starting up the CMF hedge fund. Absolutely amazing. Let's go. The medication, thank you. The medication, because Cuban is with them, they shut them down as quick as they could because it was a threat. It was a massive threat. Silvergate to the banking societies. Click chat, stand out. Yeah. Good. Thanks. No problem. She's about as pro crypto as Gary, to be fair. Yeah, she's about pro crypto as Gary, to be fair. Facts. Miles, when can you say the bull run is and there's a chance for Black Swan? Black Swan is something that you always consider as an outcome, not the outcome. But bull run is slowly in progress. So BlackRock is also a venture capitalist investment. Yes, up to a certain extent, yes. I understand that VP is a part of the administration. I agree with the team or you are not. The blame I heard on her on here for VP Harris is interesting. Please address if VP Pence was participant in the January 6th action. I would honestly say that he was not a participant or believer in an action. Just making a point. Also, I am not a VP Harris fan, just present, the other side of the coin. None of the 1% are with us. They all take care of each other. I agree with Scott, 1,000,000%. Facts. All the 1%ers do tend to look after each other, and to the 1%ers, everybody else are just basically peasants. So I agree with Scott 100%. I agree with you, Scott, 100%. Now, Swan Bitcoin claims ex-employees stole its mining business at Tether's direction. Apparently, Tether had a special operation going on to steal Swan Bitcoin's essentially mining ideas and business ideas. So Swan Bitcoin has filed a lawsuit against a group of former employees and consultants, alleging they hatched and executed a rain and hellfire plan to steal its lucrative Bitcoin mining business with the help of Tether. Apparently, Tether wanted to steal a mining business's ideas and their entire company, and Tether was running these operations behind the scenes. So now they're being sued. Swan Bitcoin's one-time ally and fundraising partner. The lawsuit accuses 6 employees of looting Swan trade secrets, including highly priority codes, hash rate optimization techniques, and financial models, and using them to create an illegal, essentially, version of his essentially company of Swan's Bitcoin mining operation called Proton Management. After 2 months of profiling and planning, the lawsuit claims the Cody Grace comes on August 8th. And when they and several other employees resigned near simultaneously to join Proton. So Proton is pretty much a company that was set up by Tether and funded by Tether, and Tether used their own tools to spy on another company to get their secrets out of them, so that Tether can build a better company to their rivals. If Tether did do this, could be seen as misrepresentation, could be seen as fraud. There's so many allegations that could go against Tether. The defendants did all of this according to Swan, with the go-ahead from Tether. Though Tether is not named defendant in the suit, a spokesperson for the company has denied any and all essentially implementations of wrongdoing. Tether has already came out and said, we have no involvement whatsoever. The stablecoin giant had previously funded Swan's Bitcoin mining operations in Australia back in 2023, and by February had entered into talks with Swan for another funding round. According to the suit, the adversary for Tether, Zach and Morlin Capital Partners, told Swan that Tether would lead Swan's C-Series fundings round with $25 million investments, valuing Swan's business at a whopping $1 billion. It was a big contract, very big contract, that Tether apparently decided to backstab them. Things were looking good for Swan, which had aspirations of going public one day as a company. By July, according to a lawsuit, it was one of the biggest, essentially, arrivals of a Bitcoin mining, essentially, institution. Tether's CFO seemed to be pleased with Swan's CEO and alleged telling him on multiple occasions that his opinions on things regarding Bitcoin operations mattered, and he was the best CEO in the space, but then backstabbed him. But while praising essentially his movements and pledging funding, Swan says that Tether was double dealing. According to him and to the suit, he began talking about secret meetings with Swan's former head of minings, which is not named in the defendants in the suit, and other employees in late June, telling them that Swan had no value to Tether, and that suggesting that Swan's employees could potentially leave Swan and go ahead to work for Tether or another operator and keeping doing what they're doing, but without Swan as the CEO. In July 11th, a meeting was happening where allegedly it was told that the former Swan investment director and some other members has to realize that Tether can take away Swan's mining business tomorrow. And with that, they decided to take everything that he built. So right now, Tether is being investigated again. Once Tether has been investigated, they got fined $14 million. Tether is now being investigated again for allegedly stealing operations, mishandling documentations, fraud allegations are on Tether as well from this new lawsuit that just came out of nowhere, that Tether decided to backstab a person, a CEO of a company inside the blockchain space, a Bitcoin company, for over a $1 billion contract. Tether decided to backstab this person, and now a lot of people are being sued, including Tether being the backbone of this scenario. It's a $1 billion case. Let's see how things are going to go ahead with Tether with this new case. Now, Tether hasn't been named in the case, but the people that are working for Tether's new company now have been, and things have been mentioned that Tether was the behind the man, the silent partner. Basically, Tether showing their true colors. Now, what we're going to talk about next is Grayscale, because Grayscale has decided to come out with their top 20 cryptocurrencies that everybody should look into. But what's interesting is that Grayscale decided to exclude one particular crypto project, XRP. Grayscale excludes XRP from its Q4 top crypto picks, and here's the list. Grayscale has recently revealed it's for the top 20 crypto picks, excluding XRP. And this has sparked massive discussions on the broader crypto market space. Notably, this comes just under the leading investment firm recently, a few nights ago, announced essentially their XRP trust, which sparked a rally in the crypto price early this month. Beside it, it also fueled discussions over a potential XRP ETF launch in the coming days. Meanwhile, here we are exploring a list of tokens that the firm has picked as the top cryptos for the final quarter of 2024. Grayscale excludes XRP from its list. The latest update highlights several emerging trends in the crypto markets, focusing on AI and tokenization projects. However, it has excluded XRP from the list despite the recent positive performance and the launch of the trust, which have sparked optimism. Instead, it added projects like Sui on its list, Tau, CeeLo, and others, sparking market discussions. Meanwhile, the investment firm's quarterly rebalancing process focuses on reflecting the evolving dynamics of the crypto sector. Notably, the firm, in its report, said our updated top 20 represents a diversified set of assets across crypto sectors that have high potential over the coming quarter. So this list that they've created is for the best picks until the end of 2024. However, it also warned about the high volatility and risk associated with these assets. The latest move by Grayscale to exclude XRP from its top crypto picks for the fourth quarter has sparked discussions, especially as the crypto is now considered a strong contender for broader institutional adoption. Several XRP community members have questioned whether this decision is due to regulatory uncertainties associated with the crypto. For instance, the broader crypto community is anticipating a potential US SEC appeal in the Ripple lawsuit. After the conclusion of Ripple versus SEC case, speculations have soared over a potential appeal by the agency, which could extend the legal battle between the two parties. I've said this before and I'll say it again. A lot of people are posting on X, for example, and I'm going to tell you the good news of this as well. So this might seem like bad news to a lot of people. I'll know XRP is not on the list for top 20s for the end of 2024, but I'll tell you the good news straight after. But I just want to say one thing before I tell you the good side of this, which is a lot of people right now are posting on X that the SEC is going to appeal. A lot of people are posting on X that my insider acquaintances from the SEC have said that the SEC is going to. People are coming out with random information. I'll be very honest. A lot of people are tweeting out random information for engagement, or how Elon Musk likes to basically call it, farming, which is you're just begging for clickbait information. That's the easiest way to say farming. You're just begging for likes and retweets. So a lot of people are randomly tweeting out that a former SEC executive has came out and said that the SEC is going to appeal. Or some people have actually tweeted out I know insider information from somebody that used to work at the SEC, and the SEC is going to be, they're all begging for retweets and likes. It's called farming in a very simple way. So on the matter of, is the SEC going to appeal? I've already laid it out. And a lot of people are saying, if the SEC appeals, this case is going to go on for another 3 years. Wrong. This case is not going to be going on for another 3 years. I said there's two possibilities. I said, one, the SEC has used whatever they had in their chamber to go up against Ripple, and the conclusion was terrible for the SEC. So some people are saying, well, because it was terrible, the SEC is going to appeal. Because it was terrible, the SEC is going. A lot of people don't understand how the law works, but they'll give out information like they're Harvey Specter. So on that matter of, the SEC went up against Ripple for a year-on-year battle. They used whatever they had on Ripple, and they still couldn't get a conclusion of what they wanted as an outcome. Then the SEC gets a battering by Congress in 3 meetings, almost losing his job when we do have a new president. And you think after the 3 massive, essentially, Congress meetings he had, the battering he had, and losing millions of dollars going up against taxpayers' money, going up against the Ripple Labs, essentially, you think they still have something left they never revealed before. I'll tell you what, the SEC used whatever evidence they thought they had that was strong enough to go up against Ripple. They used whatever they had in their chambers, and it didn't work. It didn't even work for 1 second, because they never got the conclusion they wanted. The only thing the SEC cared about was XRP security, and it never happened. And it's never going to happen. So for anybody that's going out there saying, oh, I have a close friend, that they're actually tweeting this. I have a close friend who works at the SEC who told me they're going to appeal the Ripple. No, you don't. First of all, you don't have a close friend in the SEC. Second of all, stop begging for tweets and likes, okay? It's embarrassing. And a lot of these people are adults, which makes it more embarrassing. It's pathetic. Okay, the SEC had whatever they had against Ripple, and it didn't work, and it's never going to work. So the best thing for the SEC is to put this case behind them, like it never happened. Second, if essentially the SEC does appeal, let's just say, I said there's 2 outcomes, and I've always said there's 2 outcomes. Let's just say the SEC appeals. Is it going to be approved? Is what matters. People think just because the SEC appeals, here we go, another 3 years. Incorrect. If the SEC wants to appeal, they have to choose what part of the case they want to appeal. And then they have to show grounds. And if their grounds are not strong enough, rejection. Which is, a lot of people are not tweeting about that part. Everybody's tweeting about, if XRP gets appealed, another 3 years. If XRP gets appealed, the XRP price is going to drop 20%. If XRP, essentially, if SEC appeals, this is what's going. But nobody's tweeting about the other side, part 2. If somebody appeals this case, they have to show, first of all, they have to choose what part. Then they have to choose on what grounds they're appealing. And then it's essentially approved or rejection. Not straight away, appeal happens, the case continues. No. It has to be approved. That's just how the law works. So that's the part that everybody keeps on leaving out their tweets of, I have a friend in the SEC. Nobody has a friend in the SEC on X. Not a single influencer, crypto influencer, has even acquaintances in the SEC. But people are tweeting out that they have best friends in the SEC, and they know from insider sources that the appeal is coming, and it's going to be going on for another 3 years. Stop begging for retweets and likes. It's embarrassing, especially if you're an adult. Just wanted to point that one out there. That's basically engagement farming. You're begging for retweets and likes. It's what the old school people used to call clickbait. Now, moving on that one to the good side of Grayscale's scenario. So Grayscale decides to take off XRP from their top 20 list for end of 2024. Seems like bad news, correct? Grayscale's not listing XRP, even though they just launched an XRP trust. Well, Grayscale's XRP trust is now tapping institutional interest in cross-border payments. So on one side, Grayscale's not putting XRP on their top 20 list for the end of 2024. On the other side, Grayscale's XRP Trust is tapping institutional interest in cross-border payments because the digital asset management company with significant net volume, Grayscale Investments, has recently publicly declared their openings of the XRP Trust, which happened a few days ago, to the accredited buyers and investors. With this new investment product, investors can easily invest into cryptocurrencies known as XRP, which is used for the XRP ledger. This announcement is several weeks soon, while the use of the cryptocurrency as well as the blockchain technology increases dramatically across global, especially in cross-border settlements. XRP and cross-border payments markets. The digital asset name XRP, the heart of this new trust, is primarily associated with the XRP ledger. It's a distributed financial system aimed at providing optimum solutions to cross-border transactions on their parts. The financial institutions are interested in ways to cut on the time and costs involved with transfers and cross-border remittances. This can be achieved in using Ripple's XRP assets. That cryptocurrencies tend to dominate to the space in the financial services sector, making institutions provide structures for specializations such as XRP Trust, where investors are increasing their spendings on specific funds. Accredited investors and regulatory contexts. This is where things get interesting. Grayscale claims that the XRP Trust will only be available to accredited investors as a result of its compliance and regulation. Accredited investors are generally maintain passing criteria in terms of their income or net worth or outlined by the SEC. It will also seek to woo institutional investors, the super rich, or anyone interested in investing in different classes of assets such as cryptos. Despite this, Grayscale's decision marks a growing institutional involvement in digital currencies, although the retail investors will have no direct access to the trust. So Grayscale has decided to make the XRP Trust for the high-profile investors, institutional investors, because there's a massive interest coming through. Grayscale's initiative, the XRP Trust account, at a time when the regulations surrounding crypto assets, especially inside the United States, are in discussions. This trust also points to the rising institutional appreciation for the network's utilities, such as XRP Ledger. But now XRP has attracted regulatory attention. Meanwhile, because of legal issues such as the SEC situation, which remains ambiguous about this kind of assets, this is a fact worth emphasizing, given the constantly developing institutional interest in cryptocurrencies, but especially in those which have been visibly practical use, such as XRP. So, on one side, Grayscale is not listing XRP on its top 20, essentially, for cryptos to look out for growth in 2024, towards the end of the year. On the other side, Grayscale's XRP Trust has just opened its doors more to institutions, to high-profile investors and institutions, because institutions are showing massive interest in the asset. Is Grayscale deliberately taking XRP off their top 20? Because if one particular asset, XRP, is doing great with the institutional adoption from the XRP Trust, why not put it in your top 20? Are they deliberately taking essentially XRP out? And the XRP Trust is only for accredited investors. The retail section cannot be buying XRP Trust from Grayscale. They're only selling it to institutions. Grayscale is only selling their XRP Trust to institutions and high-profile investors, not to the retail section. And on their top 20 list of crypto assets everybody should look out for, which is mostly for the retail section and institutions, they didn't put XRP on the list. On one side, XRP is doing great for institutions on Grayscale XRP Trust. On the other side, they haven't listed it. Is it because their top 20 crypto is for retail section as well? Because XRP is not available to retail section on Grayscale's Trust. So they deliberately taken it off the list. Because it's not like the asset's doing bad, it's actually doing great. For the XRP Trust. So now, exactly, Miles. Grayscale sounds like they're full of crap. They're trying to fool us. Facts. Let's go, Stormy. Let's see where we were inside the comment section before we go to the next news. It's also related to Ripple. Next news. We are at a chance. There is no more crashes. It's time for Tether to take the fall. This is what you get for not being transparent. Regarding the Tether news, yep, government is the problem, not Tether. They want under-table payments. Not a chance. They can't afford to appeal. SEC go to hell. Sounds like another XRP shakeout. We are in the CMF, ain't falling for it. Let's go, Joe. I think they're trying to get off the train as many people possible as they can to sell the ETF later. I agree. CBDCs are about to start. SEC cannot keep holding XRP back for institutions' need. Gary would be absolute fool to appeal. I agree. I am a super grandmaster at chess. I know to play chess as well. The judges reposted just an XRP case. The case judgment appears to be legally tight. Yes, it is. Institutions, aka 1%ers, are trying to get rid of consumers. There will be more money for the 1%ers, aka institutions. I agree. And I agree with Stormy as well, and Scott, and everybody else. Now, on the matter of also Ripple and XRP, Bybit. Bybit Exchange has just topped Binance and XRP futures trading, and expanding its presence in the market space. Bybit, the second largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume, currently has more open interest in XRP in the futures markets than Binance, the largest exchange by trading volume. This development comes aimed at crypto exchanges' recent expansion to new regions, having gained full, essentially, licensings to provide crypto trading services in many more countries. Bybit tops Binance in XRP trading volume. CoinGlass data shows that Bybit has topped Binance's XRP futures trading. The former currently boasts about $195 million in open interest for its XRP, while Binance is showing interest of $172 million. Its XRP/USDT futures markets, its open interest refers to the number of derivative contracts traders currently hold on the exchange. Therefore, higher open interest on Bybit will typically suggest that the exchange is on the go for XRP traders rather than Binance. However, it isn't fully the case, as Binance still boosts more trading volume for essentially this for other assets, but XRP is doing relatively better on Bybit's exchange. Bybit also works with Ripple alongside. In the last 24 hours, the top exchanges by trading volume recorded a trading volume of $419 million on its XRP futures market, while the second largest exchange witnessed a trading volume of $186 million on its XRP futures market. Meanwhile, Binance is also dominating XRP spot markets at $131 million and has been trading on the XRP spot market in the last 24 hours. During this period, Bybit has recorded $50 million in XRP spot trading volumes. Both exchanges will continue to go head-to-head, considering that they are the largest by trading volumes. But Ripple and Bybit have had some indirect connections in the past, you could say. Now, moving off Bybit to Miles, who owns Bybit. Bybit owns Bybit, but they have partners. Ripple's top bosses to appear at a Federal Reserve event. Ripple's CEO Brad and co-founder Chris Larsen are set to appear at the 8th annual FinTech conference hosted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. The Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia is doing a massive annual event, basically October 22nd to October 23rd, and Ripple's going to be there. It's a Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia event, and Ripple's going to be there. It's an annual FinTech conference. This conference will focus on such topics as tokenized deposits for the banking world, the tokenization of real-world assets for the banking world, and the impact of FinTech on modern financial landscapes. And Ripple's two CEO, basically co-founders, are going to be there, Brad and Chris Larsen. The senior economist at the FRB Philadelphia claims that the goal of the conference is to discuss the future of fintech industries. The organization committee behind the event includes representatives from the Warrington School of University of Pennsylvania, the University of Cambridge, and the Brookings institutions. Chris Larsen's appearance is pretty notable, considering that the billionaire rarely shows up at such events. Chris Lawson rarely does show up at any sort of events, but he's going to be at this event, a banking event, which is involving cryptocurrencies, fintechs, and banks. And the event is by the Philadelphia Bank, Central Bank. The list of speakers include Paul, Coinbase's top lawyer, Sheila Warren, the head of Crypto Council for Innovation. The event will also feature Plate CEO, Zach, financial technology associations, and other essentially banking executive associations. Prior to the event, hosted by the FRB Philadelphia, Ripple will have its very own Soul conference scheduled to take place on October 15th and October 16th in Miami as well. This will be the company's 8th annual Soul conference. The company has previously held its events in such cities such as Toronto, London, Singapore, and Dubai. In the meantime, the company is potentially facing an SEC appeal based on the recent rumors and deadlines for the agency's decision to be set for October 6th. By the way, if the SEC does want to appeal this case, which they'll get rejected on, they have time until October 6th. October 7th is when the deadline is going to be, but they have time until October 6th. It's going to get declined straight away. But massive banking event, the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, hosted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, and both Ripple essentially founders, Chris Lawson and Brad, are going to be there. And Chris Lawson, it is kind of factual. He never turns up to any sort of events at all. Brad is normally the one that turns up to the events. But it makes sense. Ripple, a banking event, it always makes sense. Now, we have, by the way, has anyone any questions? Because we've also reached the endings of tonight's live show as well. We're finishing, like, I think 10 minutes maybe earlier, or 5 minutes maybe earlier, because I have a very, very important meeting, 9 a.m. So the live show is going to be ending at 1 a.m. Typically, the live show would end at 1:20, 1:10, 1:30 sometimes, but today's going to be ending at 1 instead of 1:10. But if anyone has got questions, last minute questions to go through it inside the comment section. If you don't, I'm going to go through a gist of what we went from tonight's live show. We talked about essentially Ripple's bosses attending a Philadelphia banking event. We talked about Bybit essentially having more volume in terms of XRP because of the relationship they do have with Ripple going on. We talked about Grayscale's XRP Trust doing incredibly well and only available now to accredited investors and high-profile institutions. We talked about how essentially Grayscale left XRP off their list deliberately. We talked about essentially how Tether essentially is now being investigated in some sort of a way for backstabbing, fraud allegations, and some other allegations. We talked about how the Biden administration was the one that essentially made a crypto-friendly bank close its doors and liquidate its assets. We talked about how Turkey's second largest bank has now endorsed Solana alongside Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. We talked about on tonight's live show regarding the news topic of Germany forming a Bitcoin Federal Association in its parliament. We also went through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding Stand With Crypto endorsing Elizabeth Warren. We also talked about tonight's live show regarding Putin making a huge announcement today regarding we are building that BRICS payment and it is coming out very soon. We also talked about tonight's live show regarding the Fed and the 75 basis points, which is coming out next maybe. And towards the end essentially of this year, 75 basis points has been priced in. If that does happen, it's going to be a positive. Then we also talked about the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, possibly coming up with new policies. So that is all the news topics we went through on tonight's live show. I'm hoping everyone enjoyed tonight's live show as well. And apologies for ending it, 5-10 minutes early. We're ending it at 1 a.m. Normally we ended at 1:10, 1:20, 1:30 sometimes. But there's a very important meeting tomorrow. Let's go, Miles. Hope all goes well. Let's go, Ian. Let's go. Thank you, Miles. I never miss your lives. You are very appreciated. G, thank you so much for the kind words. Another great live. Shout out to JP, though. Good luck, brother. Take care, Miles and CMF. Ray, see you tomorrow, but same time as usual. Night Miles and CMF, brilliant live as usual. Joe, let's go. See you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. Thanks so much. Good night, Miles and family. Great live. Many thanks. See you tomorrow. Ian, see you tomorrow sometime as usual with the side eye. Good stuff. Sempre, let's go. See you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. So, thank you, Miles and CMF. Good night and see you tomorrow. Mike, see you tomorrow about the same time as usual as well. For anyone that was new, that was watching this was the CMF live show. It stands for Crypto Miles Family. This was episode 167 of the CMF live show. It stays it here. The CMF live show, episode 167, crypto news. So this is CMF live show, stands for Crypto Miles Family. And every night you can tune into this live show where I talk about the most recent news inside the crypto space, inside the CBDC space, AI space, Web3 space, data space, regulation space, and policies. And it's completely free. You get vital information, recent news around the world, vital information for you to know about for being inside the crypto space. This is a great live show for people who are new to the crypto space as well. We also have our own Telegram group, which anybody's more than welcome to join. It's completely free. The link is on X. The link is on YouTube. If you watch us on YouTube, if you watch us on X, the link is on both of them. For the Telegram group, completely free to join. Amazing place to be in, especially if you're new inside the crypto space. Definitely join it. If you can't find a link, just direct message me. I'll give you the link. And good thanks and good night, Miles and CMF. Stormy, good night. Thank you so much for tuning in as well. And congrats again. Good night, Miles. Callie, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Troy, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. Free and forever. See you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. So this was a CMF live show. And thank you so much once again to everybody that retweeted this live show. Thank you so much to everybody that liked this live show on X, retweeted this live show on X. Thank you so much to everyone that followed me and subscribe to me on YouTube during this live show. Thanks so much to people on X who followed me on X and people that subscribed to me on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you're not following me, follow me. If you haven't retweeted or liked this live show, if you want, give it a retweet, give it a like if you enjoyed it, and drop a comment outside of the live show on the video. It could be a thumbs up, it could be a fire emoji, it could be anything you want. Share the live. Let's go. Lena, good night, Miles. Lena, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Another great show, Miles. Scott, see you tomorrow at the same time as usual. Good night, Miles, CMF. Romy, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Share the live. Let's go, Lena. Let's go. Good night, everyone. Thanks for the amazing live, Miles. And don't forget to comment after the live. Let's go. Definitely don't forget to comment after the live. And thank you so much to everybody that made a donation on tonight's live show. Thank you so much to Ian. Thank you so much to JP. And thank you so much to Semper for the donations. Absolutely amazing. And every little helps towards the CMF hedge fund to start it up. Absolutely amazing. Ian, thank you so much. JP, thank you so much. And Semper, thank you so much. So I will be seeing everybody tonight, basically, because it's 1 a.m. And this CMF live show starts 11:25 p.m. onwards, UK time, every single night. So 11:25, 11:30 if you tune into this live show, UK time. So I'll be seeing everybody, you could say, tonight. Good night, Miles and CMF. Thank you very much. Let's go, Carlos. I'll be seeing everybody tonight, 11:25 p.m. onwards, UK time. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. I'll be seeing everybody tonight, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF, see you tonight. Good night, Miles. See you tomorrow. Post the live to help the algorithm. Let's go. Good night, Miles and CMF. Ghostman, see you. Join our Telegram. Facts. Let's go. And if you haven't followed, follow. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you have retweet or liked, give it a retweet, give it a like, whatever you want. See everybody tonight, 11:25 p.m. onwards, UK time, same time as usual. CMF, have a great night or a great day, no matter where you are around the world. See you all.